Hi, I'm Nathan Thornberry, and here for InspectionSuccess.net, giving you a little tip if you're a real estate vendor, particularly a home inspector, but really this applies to any vendor. And for the last 20 years plus, I've been working in real estate with first with my parents' home inspection company, and then for the last 18 years or so with Residential Warranty Services and the Inspector Services Group. And we've spent a lot of money on advertising. I mean, millions and millions of dollars. And I've done it all. One thing that comes up consistently as an issue where an inspector might be solicited to go and advertise or has been given the opportunity is the real estate transaction folder. And I want to tell you what this is first, and then what the backstory is, how the business works, and then let's talk about whether you should do it or not. So the idea is, that you have this legal size folder that can fit everything for the transaction, the old school paperwork that every real estate agent has to have with their client, their closing docs, all of that stuff. And they hand this off to their client as they're going through the transaction. Now this folder has, usually some branding from the real estate office itself. And then there's an option to have some ads for vendors inside, usually business card size ads, and they'll sell 8 to 20 of them depending on how popular that office is. They'll have the whole back, the inside, on the front of the pockets. And the way the business model works is you have these guys out there that print up these folders, and they'll go to a real estate broker and say, hey, we'd like to provide the folders for you, and you're not going to pay anything. In fact, we're even going to pay you to provide the folders. So they give the broker a fee just to provide the folders. Now, when they do that, does that mean their agents have to use the folders? Absolutely not. I mean, are they encouraged to? Anybody's guess. But let's just say that, in fact, they are going to use the folders, and let's take them at their word on that. I was given this opportunity by a lady. Her last name was Psychotti. I don't remember her first name, but this was probably 15 years ago. And I was sold a business card size ad for several $100s for a fairly decent size office, and one that I had been working on getting in, one where we had agents that used us. We just weren't their preferred vendor on the home warranty side. And I wrote this check in good faith, and when I was called, I very clearly remember her saying, I'm with Office X, or I'm calling for Office X. There was some wording with that. And I was given the distinct impression that she was at first with them, and then through the conversation it was, oh, we were given your name to call and participate in this folder. So long story short, I paid the fee, and then months later, the folders are there. Supposedly, we're in all these transaction folders, and I think, oh, great, we're participating with this office. We're now a sponsor. We're part of the team, right? So I walk into the office personally with my brochures and everything, and again, they had a preferred vendor relationship. We worked with a lot of the agents, but they had a preferred vendor relationship. I walked in to deliver our brochures, and I was turned away at the door. I called the broker to ask him, "Hey, what's up? I'm a sponsor of your office now, right?" And he said very plainly, "We are not associated with the folder people." So this is my suggestion to you, and whatever type of vendor you are, again, home inspection, home warranty is kind of where my specialty is, but really any type of vendor. If you're approached with one of these folder deals, here's the question you need to ask. If I could go back in time that I would have asked, I would have said, I want to know that I'm supporting this office. I'd love to support this office. And I get a lot of business out of the office. This makes perfect sense to me. But there are two things that I want to know. Number one, that the use of these folders is mandatory or very strongly encouraged, and I'd like to know how that is. Number two, I'd like to meet with you and this broker that you're working with to make sure that when I partner with you, that I am in fact partnering with the broker, since I am paying the broker. This isn't too much to ask, and if I had gone back to that point in time, asked that question, maybe I would have had the meeting, maybe something good would have come out of it. But in reverse, it didn't work so well. So when you see these folders and you hear about them in social media and you talk and people talk about them, they talk about them like they're some sort of scam. I'm not going to go that far. They're not a scam. They're just not a direct relation to the broker. So you have to, if you're considering doing one of these, you have to make sure that it is a direct relation to the broker. I'm going to start posting some tips for home inspection companies at inspectionsuccess.net. You'll find a ton of stuff there, free samples on lab stuff from Inspector Lab, free trials on warranties, recall check, etc., and lots of useful stuff. So check it out, inspectionsuccess.net.